Welcome to the channel. It's easy. I am Asutosh Chandra. Today I am present with some questions for upcoming bank exams. These are basically double fillers types of question. So let's move to the next slide and let's see the questions on our screen. This is the first question on your screen. Nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision more than dash on the part of key dash that seems inconsistent with the vision. Before moving on to the options, let's try to comprehend the meaning of the sentence, what the meaning of the sentence is. If you read the sentence properly, you will find that there is a comparison drawn between two things in the sentence. The one word, that is nothing, undermines the communication more than dash. If you put a word here that comes to your mind first, if you are able to put any word, if you are able to think of any word that should be here, try to relate that word to the options given. But before moving on to the option, you should try on your own which word is suitable here. If I read it again, nothing undermines the communication, then something. If the very first word that comes to my mind is something, it means something, there must be a noun. Nothing undermines the communication, then something. So let's move to the options. So it will be very easy for us to solve the question through the option. These are the options: anything, issues, behavior, players, advocacy, managers, something, personnel, philosophy, problems. Nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision more than something. That word came to my mind at first, but there is no word that is something. Of course, there is a word something. Is it appropriate? Nothing undermines the communication of changed vision more than something. Maybe. But look, we will, before deciding on the option, we have to look for other options also. And one thing more, here is a grammatical aspect of the question. The grammatical aspect of the question is, you have to be very careful regarding this word that. It is functioning here as a relative pronoun, and it does not have anything to do with the word coming before that, immediately before that, because this word that is a relative pronoun here, and it does not refer to the word just coming just before it. It refers to the word that will come after then. Be very careful while solving the question and read the question again in this way. This is the grammatical aspect of the question. Nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision more than dash that seems inconsistent with the vision. Be very careful. This word that, it has nothing to do with the word coming just before that. It has to do with the word coming after then. So this is the grammatical aspect of this question. So nothing undermines. Let's move to the option and try to solve it. We will apply all the methods. We will apply answer elimination method. We will apply grammatical, we will try to solve the question through grammatical aspect also, and of course by the meaning of the word also. Nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision more than anything that seems inconsistent. So that seems, you look, that is a relative pronoun and the verb here is singular verb, seems. So that the word that is referred to by that must be a singular, and all the options at the first place are singular. So we cannot decide by this grammatical aspect, grammatical explanation of the sentence, that which word will come at this place. So we have to go by the options and its meaning, options and their meanings. Nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision more than anything on the part of key issues that seems inconsistent with the vision. Nothing undermines the communication. Read it again. Nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision more than anything. Then read from here. That seems inconsistent with the vision on the part of key issues. It seems to be the appropriate answer, but let's move to the second option also and consider it. After thorough consideration, we will decide which option will be suitable for the answer. Nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision more than behavior that seems inconsistent with the vision on the part of key players. these words seems to be out of context of the meaning of the sentence. So I will rule out the second option. Nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision than advocacy that seems inconsistent with the vision on the part of key manager. Key managers, the word manager seems to be appropriate, but this word advocacy is not appropriate to be filled at the first place. So I will rule out the third option also. If I say something and personnel, nothing undermines the communication of a changed vision more than something that seems. This word nothing and something, these words do not consistent with each other according to the meaning of the sentence, and apart from this, personnel is also meaningless here. So I will rule out this option also, and philosophy and problem, it's also not appropriate option. If you read the sentence and put these words at different places, you will find that it does not give any kind of meaning. So the appropriate answer will be, of course, A. For your convenience, I have given a grammatical explanation of the whatever I discussed. The same has been written in the grammatical explanation. You can go through it. So read it properly, and let's move to the second question. The second question is on your screen. It is said that knowledge is power, the hunger for power is dash, and therefore most difficult to dash. Before moving on to the options, we must think on your own what the word strike to your mind before looking at the options. What the options you think on your own, and the options that you think on your own, try to relate that options with the options given in the question. So it is said that knowledge is power, the hunger for power is dash, and therefore most difficult to dash. The hunger for power is dash, and therefore most difficult to dash. The word that will be filled at both these places seem to be in same direction. Look, there are opposite words, and the words there are in same direction. They are not synonyms, but they are in the same direction, giving the meaning in the same, giving a direction to the sentence in the same direction. If the hunger for something that is dash, what the word come to your mind. If the hunger for power, it means the very first word that comes to my mind is most. The hunger for power is most. The hunger for power is very enormous. The hunger for power is very large, and therefore most difficult to dash. So both the words seems to be same directional words. Let's move to the options and pick up the appropriate option. Accumulative. Accumulative means something that can be accumulated. Accumulate is a verb which means collect. That can be collected. Accumulative is a adjective form. Growing gradually or increasing gradually. Accumulative. The hunger for power is accumulative. If you say it doesn't seems very meaningful. The hunger for power is accumulative. What is the meaning of subsume? The word subsume, it means to conclude something. Sorry, to include something, not conclude. Sorry to say, to include something. In one word, you can say to include. Subsume means to include. So you cannot say the hunger for power is accumulative, and therefore it is difficult to subsume or include. So it is not giving any proper meaning. So I will rule out the first option. Let's move to the second option, enormous. Of course, the hunger for power can be enormous, and therefore it is most difficult to apply. The first word seems to be appropriate, but the second word, after reading it does not give any kind of meaning. The hunger for power is enormous. If the hunger for power is enormous, then most difficult to apply. What is most difficult to apply? There is nothing that is giving a meaning of applying. The hunger for power is enormous. So what cannot be applied? The hunger for power cannot be applied. So this option, this pair of options seems to be inappropriate. I will rule out this option also. Enormous means you must know the meaning of enormous. It means huge, immense. The next option is empowering or delegate. The hunger for power is empowering. The hunger for power is empowering. What is the meaning of empowering? Empowering means to give more power or control. So the hunger for power is empowering. It's meaningless. It is not giving any appropriate meaning. So why should we consider the second option? Move on to the fourth option, insatiable. It is said that knowledge is power. The hunger for power is insatiable. Of course, the hunger for power is insatiable. Insatiable means something or someone that cannot be satisfied. That cannot be satisfied, that is called insatiable. So it is most difficult to contain. Here the word contain means to control, to restrain. Since the hunger for power is insatiable, it cannot be satisfied, it is uncontrollable, so it is most difficult to control or contain. So the option number D looks very appropriate in this particular sentence and very suitable to the meaning of the to give the meaning to the entire sentence. So the option D seems to be very appropriate option among the given options. And the fifth option is evolutionary and rationalize. Evolutionary, the word comes from evolution. Evolution means to the slow and steady development of something. Evolution means to develop slowly, gradually, over a long period of time. If something develop, that is called evolution. For example, evolution of human being, evolution of our culture, evolution of our civilization. It means over a long period of time, if something develops, it is called evolution. And rationalize means be logical. So these options, this pair of options seems to be inappropriate. So the option will be D. Let's move to the third question. Mountain and hills are a dash site. I have always dashed to see them. It's very simple question, very easy question. You can think of the option on your own. Mountain and hills are a dash site. It's a very beautiful site. It's a worth seeing site. What the words strike to your mind? Strike your mind when you read and try to think over the option on your own. Mountain and hills are a dash site. Worth seeing site. Worth its site to visit, and I have always dashed to see them. So there seems to be the desire or want to see them. The word that comes to my mind, I have always desired, or I have always wanted to see them. The such kind of word comes to my mind. Let's see what the options are. The options are extraordinary, advocated, stupendous, encouraged, loving, prepared, joyful, imagined, fascinating, longed. Mountain and hills are, if you see extraordinary, here is the word A, so it must be followed by a consonant sound. So extraordinary, this option will not do here because of the grammatical aspect that A must be followed, this article must be followed by a consonant sound. So option number A is ruled out. Stupendous. What is the meaning of stupendous? Stupendous means something extremely impressive, very impressive. That is called stupendous. Mountain and hills are a stupendous sight. It's okay to say, I have always encouraged to see them. To whom have I encouraged? I have always, it must take a object after it. I have encouraged myself. Because without object, this sentence seems to be incomplete. So I will rule out second option also. Moving on to the third option. Mountain and hills are a loving sight. I have always prepared to see them. The sentence does not give appropriate meaning. Mountain and hills are loving sight. Okay, it's okay to say loving sight. I have always prepared. Once you have prepared, or it means I have been preparing for a long time, or I prepare daily. I have always prepared. It is not giving a clear meaning again. And the word seems not to be consistent with each other for giving the appropriate meaning. So I will rule out this option also. joyful imagined. I have always imagined to see them. Mountain are and hills are a joyful sight. Of course, it's a joyful sight, but I have always imagined to see them. I have always wanted to see them. It I can say. I have always de- um, desired to see them. I can say, but I have always imagined to see them. It's not giving a proper meaning. So this option is also ruled out. The third last option is fascinating and longed. Fascinating, that is very attractive. That attracts a lot of people. Mountain and hills are a fascinating sight. Of course, it's fascinating sight, and I have always longed to see them. Yeah, you have to know the meaning of long. Long means to want something very much. For if you want something very much over a period of time, so it is said that you are longing for that particular thing or particular person or particular object. So mountain and hills are a fascinating sight, and I have always longed to see them. Of course, I have been wanting to see them. The wanting very much. Both the words are synonyms. So the option number E would be the appropriate option. Now moving on to the fourth question. The question is on your screen. Poetry is the language of imagination and the dash. It relates to whatever gives dash pleasure or pain to the human mind. Now let's move to the option. These are the options. So be very careful while solving such kind of question. Whenever two words are joined using and, the word must be of the equivalent level. And it is a connector, it is a conjunction that joins two words of the same level, of equivalent level, from the grammatical aspect or from the meaning point of view. Poetry is the language of imagination and thinking. Poetry is the it relates to whatever gives permanent pleasure or pain. It's not logical to say poetry gives permanent pleasure or pain to human mind. So this option will be ruled out. Poetry cannot give permanent pleasure or pain to someone. Again, the opposite of permanent is temporary. Poetry is the language of imagination and the temporary and the analysis. It relates to whatever gives temporary, okay, it's okay to say temporary pleasure or pain to human mind, but it is the language of imagination and analysis. The two words, imagination and analysis, the two words do not consistent with each other for giving a appropriate meaning here. So I will rule out this word, this option again. Moving on to the third option. Poetry is the language of imagination and the passions. It relates to whatever gives immediate pleasure or pain. It seems to be the correct option among the three options that we have discussed till now. Moving on to the fourth option. That is, poetry is the language of imagination and circumspection. Circumspection means thinking very carefully about something. So again, it is out of context. Poetry is the language of imagination and circumspections. Both the words does not seems to be consistent, and it is not giving the proper meaning. Poetry is the language of imagination and circumspection. No, not at all. And the another word is sporadic. What is the meaning of sporadic? Sporadic means intermittent. It means that something that happens occasionally at intervals, that is called sporadic. We do not need to consider this word. Just for the first word is enough to rule out this option. The first word, circumspection, is enough to rule out this option. So poetry is the language of imagination and the circumspection. It's not appropriate, or it's inappropriate to say. So I will rule out the D option also. And the last option, visualization and constant pain and pleasure. Again, because of this word constant pain and pleasure, poetry cannot give you constant pleasure or pain. So this option is also ruled out. The only one option that can be here, that is option number C, because poetry is the language of imagination and the passion. It relates to whatever gives immediate pleasure. Of course, for some time it gives you pleasure or pain while you read poetry. So it's neither permanent nor constant. And the first word of passions, because of these two words, it seems to be very appropriate options among the given options. Okay, so the option answer will be option number C. Moving on to the last question that is on your screen. A dash reader gets much great pleasure from reading books than a major gets in dash money. So there is a comparison between a reader and a miser. You can read this question properly and try to understand on your own the what words strike your mind, what words strike your mind, and you can relate that word to the option given. There is a comparison between reader and a miser. A reader, someone who reads book, and a miser, someone. Miser means the person who does not want to, who is unwilling to spend money, who does not want to spend money. That is called a miser. Let's move to the options. Options are, these are the options. If you go through the option, a powerful reader gets much greater pleasure from reading books. Powerful reader, is it appropriate to say? A powerful reader, a voracious reader, a desirous reader. Of course, it looks appropriate. Desirous reader, it can be said. Voracious reader, it can be said. Proverbial reader. Proverbial means, be careful for the meaning of proverbial. Proverbial means famous. Note it again. Proverbial means famous. Famous. Proverbial means famous. A famous reader gets much greater pleasure from reading books. And profound. These words are very common words. So if you go through this, a powerful reader, it seems a powerful reader. How can reader be powerful? So among the given meaning, among the given options, if you go through the just first option, there are two options that seems to be very correct: voracious or desirous. Voracious reader or desirous reader gets much greater pleasure from reading a book than a miser gets in dash money. Accumulating money, of course, miser want to accumulate the money. It's correct to say, but powerful word does not seem to be appropriate. Hoarding money, of course, a miser want to hoard money. Hoard means collect money. Accumulating, hoarding, collecting, both, all the words are synonyms. Stocking money. Voracious, desirous reader gets much pleasure, and miser gets in stocking money. Money can be stocked. Okay. Proverbial famous reader gets much great. So this is not appropriate. Famous reader and spending money. Okay. If we consider the word proverbial for our option, then can the option spending be considered here? Miser gets pleasure in spending money? No, it's not appropriate to say. So I will rule out this option number D. And lavishing means luxurious or extravagant. Again, this is out of the against the nature of the miser. A miser cannot be spending money, and a miser cannot be luxurious. So option number D and E are ruled out. There are only two options: voracious, hoarding, and desirous, stocking. So in this, among these options, I will go for option number B. It seems very appropriate, because voracious, what is the meaning of voracious? Wanting a lot of information, knowledge, or greedy for knowledge, greedy for information. A reader is someone who is greedy for knowledge, greedy for information. So the option number B will be the appropriate and most appropriate option for this question. So option B is your answer. Thank you for watching the video.